Welcome back. So today we're going to discuss another method of solving quadratics. We've done factoring, we've done solving by square rooting. This is a method that works if neither one of those will. Okay, if it doesn't factor, but you have all three terms of the quadratic, you can do something called completing the square. All right, now completing the square has a couple basic steps. Now, it's a little bit more involved, but as long as you do every step along the way, you'll be able to get to the answer. Step one, you want to move the constant term to the other side of the equation so it's alone. So, I'm going to add the 1 over to the other side. Now, this is the opposite of factoring, which is okay, because factoring wouldn't work in this case anyway. So you move the constant over. Now, you want to calculate this. B over 2 squared. Again, the B meaning the term that's with the x. And you want to calculate that B, so 4 over 2 squared. Well, 4 over 2 is 2. 2 squared is 4. Now that's going to be our magic number, okay? That's going to be a very special number to us actually. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that number to both sides. So I'm going to add 4 to that side and add 4 to that side. Now the reason I've done that is because now this side is actually factorable. And that side just adds to 5. So to get the x squared, you're getting x and x. That 4 is coming from 2 and 2 because 2 times 2 is 4 and 2 plus 2 is 4. Now this is actually a very unique situation because when I factored this, I'm getting 2 of the same thing. Now that's special because you can actually write that as x plus 2 squared. Now that is always going to happen if you have factored correctly, okay? And the reason that is so important that you can do that is because now you can square root both sides. Because squaring or square rooting a square leaves you only what was inside. And then on the other side, don't forget your plus or minus. But at the other side, you're just square rooting a number. Now, again, the goal here is to solve for x. Well, x isn't quite by itself yet. I actually have to subtract that 2 from both sides. So I subtract the 2 over, and this is my final solution. It looks more complicated than what we've done before, and it is. But as long as you follow those steps, you should be okay, and it should always get you to the answer. All right, so let's try the other side. Let's follow those same steps to get to our answer. So the first step, when I'm being told to solve by completing the square, move the constant over to the other side. So in this case, I'm going to subtract the 2 over. Next, I'm going to use that b term, that negative 6. I'm going to use that b term in order to calculate b over 2 squared. So I'm going to get negative 3 squared. Well, negative 3 squared, so negative 3 times negative 3, is a positive 9. And that's going to be a very special number. Remember, we're going to add that 9 to both sides. Okay? And again, I would have these notes out and handy so you can physically see that b over 2 squared. Now this side is going to factor. Multiplies to 9, adds to negative 6. Well, that's going to be -3 and -3. And on this side, we're just going to get 7. So again, our factoring skills end up being important in this method too. Now, again, when you do your factoring properly, you should get the same thing twice, which means you can actually write this as x minus 3 squared. Because you can do that, now the special thing is you can actually square root both sides to undo the square and to get a plus or minus square root of 7 on the other. Don't forget the plus or minus. That is a critical step in this. And once you've done that, to get x by itself, I'm going to add the 3 to the other side. And that is going to represent my two solutions. Again, a little bit more involved, a little bit more complicated than what we've seen before, but still completely doable. So what I would like you to do for me, please, make sure you have all of this work written down. Come and see me if you have any questions that you need clarifying on before you begin your practice work.